This is Craig Stewart's RaceWorks in San Diego, California. Their off-road luxury PreRunners are the best in the world. The latest is being built for the Tisco race team of Gary and Mark Wyrick, the world's first Ford Raptor luxury PreRunner.
What's happening right now? Boys are picking up the new truck. Kind of exciting. Wherever Gary is, Gary's over there.
Oh man. Craig does the best work. I mean, he builds the best PreRunner in the whole sport, and it's just amazing. I mean, oh man, this thing is so nice. I got my son here, and there's my brother and his wife and kid, and I'll take all these guys out tomorrow for sure. This thing is so awesome.
Our valet Javier isn't having a typical night. You see, he was a drag racing fanatic before all this, but now things have suddenly changed. And as Gary takes his truck out into the night, people are wondering just what they saw. One thing's for sure, whatever it isn't just a Ford Raptor. But before Gary gets his truck, we'll rewind just a bit. We've still got to finish building it. The neighborhood usually knows when Craig Stewart arrives at work. Here in Santee, California, the final push to get Gary Wyrick's PreRunner assembled and out to paint is in full effect.
We got a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks to get this truck to paint. Right now we're just finishing up the dash. We're getting the rear bed sides on.
We've hired in 2 other guys, and we'll put 4 guys on it to put it together. And that's about all you can do anyway. We have every sub-assembly already pre-assembled. We just really need the engine to finish the front of the truck.
Mark's truck lurks in the background, not far behind. And as they wait for an engine, Gary's dash assembly will come to life.
I'm working on the dash here on the Wyrick's PreRunner trucks. They're Raptor trucks, Ford Raptors. Overall, you'll spend a month in this area of the truck. And what we're trying to do in these particular instances is simulate the Raptor style, not only in the exterior in the fender design, but also in the interior in the dash design. So it has the same appearance as a Raptor that's just maybe on steroids. The best way we think to approach these PreRunner trucks is to put all steel. Steel in the floorboards, steel in the firewalls, steel in the dashboards, because then it's all a welded, solid assembly. You don't have the air leaks, you don't have the exhaust leaks through the car. It's easier to seal them for heat. And once the chassis is painted and it's undercoated and rhino lined and sound deadened, it becomes a very nice, tight cab. You can see you have access through here to get to the brake assemblies, to get to the master cylinders. There's a circuit breaker panel down here. We try to make these sections of the dash removable so that you can service it easily. We found it in the past when we tried to make one-piece dashes out of aluminum or something like that, that they're not easily to service. And because they're aluminum, they have to be riveted in or screwed in or Zeused in or bolted in, and they tend to get loose and rattly. These are a lot more solid.
An engine has to breathe, and part of breathing is exhaling. Guys like Bob Butler make sure every twist and turn in these custom headers works seamlessly with the engine's heartbeat.
So just to kind of get a rough idea, I just kind of work on a piece of plate to start with. I've already changed this, but then I just build little saddles and stuff, and that kind of gets me in the ballpark. The main thing is we've got the lengths worked out and kind of what fits in the truck. Try and keep the engine builder happy. That's hard to do.
Keeping Leon Patton happy is a tall order. In this game, his motors are the top of the food chain. This 442 cubic inch Ford block will ultimately generate more than 650 horsepower. Now the assembly is moving. It's starting to look like something, and the components around the motor can finally find their home.
We have to mount about 10 items around the engine, power steering reservoir, all the coolant reservoirs. We have a whole list. But we couldn't do any of that until we had the engine, which we just got yesterday.
Off to paint in a week and a half. It's gonna be long and brutal either way. It's off-road, brutal's the way it is. With like 4 guys, we can get everything done, everything plumbed, oil lines, you know, all the interior put in. We got a good chance. It's gonna be long though. It's gonna be pretty brutal.
Brutal is what these guys do. And now that the finish is in sight, their vision becomes complete with final assembly.
I still have a couple harnesses to build. I have 2 full harnesses to build for the front, but they'll go quick. They'll only take a couple, about 3-4 hours a piece. We've already mounted most of the stuff, so I knew where to wire to. So now it's basically just sticking everything back in, bolt it in place.
With the truck chassis just back from powder coating, the engine goes in and so goes the list as it all gets bolted on. Alcon brakes, Rancho transmission, Fox 4.0 bypass shocks with 3.0 coilovers, Lawrence 10-inch GPS, Garmin with satellite radio, BF Goodrich tires, a Ron Davis radiator, and the list goes on. And as Gary's truck gets buttoned up, Mark's will be right behind it, nearing its final phase as well. But for now, these last precious 20-hour days are spoken for already. This one is almost there. An original prototype, and as of now, completely different from anything on Earth. It's not too much and it's not too little. And being first isn't bad either. Planting a flag in the ground for years to come and pushing the envelope just a bit further.
In fact, we're even talking about, we liked it so much that we're talking about having him build us a trophy truck. He just does nice work.